my name's Imogen and I teach Pilates at the Brew House. I'm just going to take you through a short Pilates routine now, just to give you a good idea of what it would be like to do one of our online classes. Okay? So all you need for the class is a mat. If you don't have a mat, just a towel will be absolutely fine as well. You don't need anything else, no other equipment. So we're going to come down onto the mat. Just make sure before we start that the feet and the knees are in line with their hips. So we're in that nice parallel position before we come all the way down onto the mat, onto your back. Relax the shoulders down. Shoulder blades should feel quite nice and heavy down onto the mat. And then just take your hands, palms facing down, and bring them to your sides. Good. We're just going to start with a few breaths. Breathing in through the nose. I want you to feel your rib cage expanding to the sides of the room. And then a nice long exhale through the mouth. And again, big breath in. And exhale. Good. Keep going with this. As you exhale, I particularly want you to think about your abdominals drawing in as well, that corset feeling, everything wrapping in and around. So we find that abdominal connection. Inhale. Exhale, draw everything in. Good. And again, breath in. Exhale. So it's nothing too intense. We're not gripping onto the abdominals. It's just a light connection, maybe about 30%. We're going to go 2 more. Exhale. Last one. And exhale. Lovely. From here, keep that breath going. Keep that connection through the abdominals. We're going to bring it into our pelvic tilts now. So rocking the pelvis forwards, you feel the hip bones traveling towards the knees, and you feel a space between the spine and the mat increase probably a little bit. And then from here, tilt the pelvis backwards. Feel that space between the spine and the mat completely disappear as you press the lower back down into the mat and feel the hip bones moving towards the rib cage. So it's just nice and easy to start with, rocking forwards and backwards. Exhale as you rock backwards, again feeling that abdominal connection as you draw the hip bones towards the rib cage. Good. So as we're doing this, just starting to mobilize the spine, mobilize the pelvis, getting ready for class. Just go for 2 more. And then on your last one, I want you to finish with that pelvis tilting backwards, pressing the lower back down into the mat. This is what's known as your imprinted position, okay? Again, just relax the hands by the sides. And then from here, I want you to increase this movement. Start to peel the spine away from the mat as we tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, and lift the hips all the way up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in as we reach the top. And then on the exhale, we're going to lower ourselves again, really articulating through the spine all the way down to the mat. And again, breath in at the bottom. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, peel that spine away from the mat. So you're really articulating through the spine. Squeeze the glutes. We want to almost think about tucking the tailbone at the top so the back stays nice and lengthened. Exhale, rolling down. Good, keep going here. We'll do 4 more. Just make sure when you reach the top of the movement that the rib cage doesn't open up towards the ceiling, the hips don't drop down towards the mat, okay? So we want to keep the rib cage drawing in, feel like it's knitting together, and then the tuck of the tailbone, so we really keep those glutes squeezing. Good. I think you've got 2 more now. Good. On the last one, we're going to lift those hips all the way up towards the ceiling and hold it there. So we keep squeezing the glutes, keep that spine lengthened. So as we get tired, just watch that we don't start to drop the hips down, keep them lifted. From here, if you can, I want you to take all your weight into your right leg. So you're going to see nothing change through the hips, no dipping, no shifting. Press down through that right leg. You're going to feel your right glute really working hard here. Good, then from here, switch over, press down through that left leg. Feel your left glute switch on even more. Again, nothing's changed through the hips. Good, bring the weight now equally through both feet. Make sure we're still in this nice position. And then slowly lower your spine all the way back down to the mat. Good, let's go again. Tuck that tailbone, rolling up. This time we're going to make it slightly more challenging if you want to, if you're comfortable with that. If not, stick at the level we've just done. Press down through that right leg once again. This time, if you can, maybe peel that left heel away from the mat. You're going to feel your right glute working even harder now. If you want even more of a challenge, maybe lift that left leg to tabletop position. Knee over the hip, shin parallel with the mat. Inhale. Exhale, drop that left leg back down to the mat, swapping over. Press down through it. If you feel comfortable, lift the heel away from the mat and maybe lift the leg into that tabletop position once again. Exhale, drop that right leg back down to the mat. Good, find that nice position once again and then slowly lower yourself all the way down. Good, really nice. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Just give your lower back a little bit of a massage on the mat by rocking from side to side. Good. Nice. And then from here, we're going to bring the feet back down onto the mat. We're going to find what's called our neutral spine here. So again, just taking those pelvic tilts, rocking forwards and back just a few times this time. And then I want you to find the position right in the middle here. So if you take the heels of your hands onto your hip bones and your fingertips onto your pubic bone, you should feel quite nice and flat in that area. It creates a triangle. The triangle isn't dropping down towards you or away from you. It's nice and flat. Good. Then from here, bring the hands back by the sides. Relax everything back down. We're going to bring the right leg into a tabletop position here. Naturally, we're going to feel a little bit of abdominal connection as we lift that leg. The knee is directly over the hip. The shin is parallel with the mat. Exhale, drop that right leg back down. Pick up the left leg. Again, knee over the hip, shin parallel. Exhale, drop down. So we're finding that connection once again. We're never letting go. We're maintaining this position here. Again, everything wrapping in and around. And again. Good. This time, lifting that right leg into tabletop position. We're going to extend the leg now. The heel is going to be a couple of inches away from the mat. We keep this neutral position. Exhale, bring it back in. Good. Send it away. And bring it back in. Just go for 2 more here. What we want to watch out for is when we send the leg away from us, the rib cage isn't opening, the back isn't arching. We're staying nice and neutral. Bring that leg back down and pick up the left. Good. And again, take that leg away and bring it back. Good. Just watch the tension isn't starting to bring the shoulders up by the ears. Relax them back down. Good. We've got 1 more. Good. Drop that left leg back down to tabletop position. This time we're going to imprint the spine on the mat. So we're no longer in neutral, we're pressing the lower back down into the mat. We're going to pick up your right leg into tabletop. We're going to pick up the left leg to join here. The knees are directly over the hip once again, the shins are parallel. This time, as you exhale, you're going to tap the right toes down towards the mat. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, left leg. Inhale, bring it back. Good. And again, make sure the right angle behind the knee stays the same all the time. So what we're not doing is just dropping the toes down, bending from the knee, okay? The movement comes from the hip to take the toes away from us to bring it back in. Good. You might start to feel a little shake through the abdominals here. We've just got 1 more each side. Good. Pressing that lower back down, imprinting the spine. Good, and bring it back. Really nice. Again, just hug the knees in towards the chest and rock from side to side. Really nice. From here, we're going to come all the way up into your 4-point kneeling position. So just turning over. Come onto your all fours. You want your shoulders directly over the hands and the hips directly over the knees in this position. Just slide the shoulders down the back to start with. Again, draw the abdominals in. the spine stays nice and long, so we're not collapsed into this position and we're not rounded, we're nice and lengthened. Take a breath in to prepare, and then on the exhale, really simply, you're just going to float your right hand forwards. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, swapping over left hand. Inhale, bring it back. So what we don't want to do here is reach forward and come out of alignment. We want everything to stay aligned. Good, we're going to do exactly the same this time with the legs. Exhale, send the right leg away from you. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, and bring it back. Good, one more time each side. Just watch here that we're not opening the hip. We're keeping everything, both hip bones pointing down towards the mat. Good, really nice. If you've got that, if you feel comfortable, we can put them together now. So we're going to take the right arm and the left leg. Exhale, reaching away. Inhale, bringing it back. Exhale, reach away. And bring it back. So here what you've got to think about is not visibly changing the weight. Okay, we want to make it completely invisible. So nothing else is moving, it's just the limbs moving away from the body and back in. Good. If you feel comfortable here, we can make it a little bit more challenging to finish. Reaching the hand, reaching the toes away from the mat in line with the spine and bringing it down. Exhale. Good. So here we've really got to be careful that the hip isn't opening. Now that we've taken the toes off, it's very easy to let the hip open into this position here. Try and keep the hip down. So we keep everything in line with the spine. We've just got one more each side. Exhale. And inhale to finish. Good, really nice. Just to finish, bring the toes together, bring the knees as wide as the mat. Reach the hands forwards and come down into your child's pose now. Relax the head down onto the mat. Good, again we've got that lovely length through the spine. Bring the bum down onto the heels. 2 more breaths here. Good, and then rolling up through the spine, stacking everything back on top of each other and coming up to finish. Really good. So I hope that gives you some idea of what to expect when you do our online classes. Hope to see you there.